Her name, Aaliyah, and she would correct you if you got it wrong. She would say, just start by saying Muhammad Aaliyah, and that'll get it right. Mr. Hankerson, I'd like to come back to you. First of all, our condolences from BET and everyone here on the loss in your family, and you're being with us at this time. We surely appreciate it.
You said it.
She said, you know, it was said that she was sweet, but street but sweet. What do you think she meant by that?
Who said that? Aaliyah said that?
Yeah, Aaliyah said that about herself. Street but sweet.
I think that's the quality that if you're around Aaliyah for any period of time, she had an engaging quality that just made you relax. Everybody that got to know Aaliyah wanted to possess her. Everybody that met her wanted to talk to her longer than they thought if she looked at you and talked to you. And I think that must be what she was talking about. And Stephen, I would also like to thank everybody in earshot of this broadcast whenever it happens for thanking them for helping Aaliyah realize so much in her life in 7 years. She's done films and albums and soundtracks and so many other opportunities that she's been a party to. Everybody that helped to play a record, that played a video, Fatima, who's like family with us as well. So many people that helped when she was very young and tender and through to this very tragic experience were there with her. And all the families that lost a loved one that was on the plane with them, people we all know and we all love so much. Just want to thank everyone who helped and just pray for everybody's family. It's not just our family. It's so many other loved ones that are distraught tonight with the loss.
And Mr. Hankerson, once again, thank you very, very much for joining us, and our thoughts and prayers go with you and your family in this time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Joining us now from New York is R&B artist Angie Stone. She was a friend and had the opportunity to work with Aaliyah. Welcome, Ms. Stone.
Thank you.
Now, you worked with her on the Freedom soundtrack for Freedom for Panther. Is that correct?
Yeah. Years ago, I was called in to assist Dallas Austin on working with about 300 women, all of them superstars in their own right. And Aaliyah was one of the women that I worked with. And I just have to say that just as I recollect the day that we started to record, I watched her come in a black leather jacket and a cap and some shades. And with all the other females that really were vying for position, she was a sweet, humble girl that wasn't running for first place. She just belonged. And I watched her go sit quietly and wait her turn. And it was that moment that I realized that she was special. I can't forget it. And once we did interact, it's a spirituality that if you watch with a spiritual eye, that you pick up on the energy of a person, and one that was so consistent. She was consistent. If it's anything that I have to say about Aaliyah from that time up until right now, I saw recently we used the same makeup artists and hair people that was also a part of that crash. I can tell you that she was consistent and she was never egotistical.
We do not want to. We would be remiss if we did not mention the other people on the plane, and we will be doing that later on in the broadcast.
Okay.
There's more BET tonight coming up. Next, what went wrong with the plane that night? We'll talk with a pilot who may have some answers. Stay with us. Welcome back to a special edition of BET Tonight. We're paying tribute to the life of one of hip-hop's rising stars who was tragically killed this weekend. Tonight, fans and friends of Aaliyah are mourning her untimely death. With us right now, Kevin Taylor, BET producer, who was down in the Bahamas documenting the video shoot. Good evening, Kevin.
Good evening, Mr. Hill.
What was the atmosphere like down in the Bahamas?
The atmosphere down in Abaco was complete family. I heard Barry and both Fatima talk about it. I was really taken with how much this group was a family. Aaliyah, Chris Maldonado, and Eric Foreman, and Fatima, Derek Lee, how they were. I was really surprised about it. After 11 years in this business, I was surprised to see how close that group of people were.
Yeah, we were looking at some of the exclusive BET video just a moment ago that you shot while you were down there. Now, from what I understand, you were actually supposed to be on that plane. Is that correct?
Yeah, Gina Smith, God rest her soul, who worked for Blackground, came to me late Wednesday evening and said the charter is just a little too full, and I know I promised you complete access, but if you don't mind, would you take a commercial flight? And the change was so last minute that my itinerary change is actually written in Gina Smith's hand. And it's a devastating recollection because these are not just names for me. I know who Gina Smith is. I know who Anthony Dodd is. Mm-hmm. I've known Christopher Maldonado for years, and so it's completely overwhelming. And then to throw in there that, but by the grace of God, myself and my film crew would have been on that same plane, is something that I really, at this moment, don't know what to do with.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, Kevin, and all the best to you. It's a tragic situation,
indeed,
no doubt. We're being joined on the phone now by DMX. Thanks for being here.
Pleasure, man.
I know this is a hard time for all of us. Tell us how you and Aaliyah got together on Back in One Piece, also from Romeo Must Die.
Well, but we met on tour, you know, mm-hmm. And her and Joel Silver, you know, came and asked me if I wanted to be in the movie, you know, and I was always a fan of Aaliyah. You know, so it was like a pleasure for me. I was like, you know, you're damn right I want to be in it. You know, but we worked in the movie together, and, you know, we did the song, you know, and she was like a beautiful person, man. You know?
X, I understand you wrote a poem for her as well. Was that during the movie?
Huh?
Was that during the movie?
No. That was, today, actually.
Could you share a little bit of that with us?
Yes.
Please.
It reads, Dearest Aaliyah, we didn't know each other long or see each other much, but we became instant and sincere friends. I have trouble accepting the fact that you're gone, so I won't. It would be like we went without seeing each other for a while. I thank you for the movie opportunities and for the chance to work with you. Because you truly were an angel on earth. See you soon. And in my own special way, I love you. You'll always be with us, from me and my wife, Cheryl.
X, thank you very much for sharing that with us.
All right.
Very much. All the best, sir. We'll be right back after this.
Every 6 seconds, men think about it.
You hit it, didn't you?
Oh, you're a dog. That's why women think of ways.
Shantae, baby, it's Keith. Give me a call, okay?
You have 11 messages.
That's what I'm talking about.
To make them beg.
I need to get back to being the player that I used to be. Play on, pop your collar.
2 can play that game.
You looking at me? Mm-hmm. Check it out.
Rated R. Opens everywhere September 7th.
People have always loved summer in New Jersey. You can spend time getting out of the sand or running through it. You can reel in a big catch or catch a great game. From thrilling rides to fun on the boardwalk. From a look at history to a peek at the future. Whatever you like to do, it's waiting for you here. And while I can't guarantee you'll always win in New Jersey, it's a safe bet you'll always have a great time. New Jersey and you, perfect together.
For your free vacation kit, call 1-800-VISIT-NJ.
Live the flavor. Jolly Rancher Watermelon.
Riboflavin.
It helps heal those bumps and bruises. And it's in Quaker oatmeal because someday Jan might not think of a bandage as a fashion statement. Just another reason to start their day the quick.
Art and soul.
BET.
Well, we'd like to thank DMX for sharing that obviously extremely personal poem with us and with you. The name Aaliyah is Swahili for highest, most exalted one. It's the name the singer tried to live up to in her career. But while she was the most famous person on the plane, she by no means was the only one on the plane. And we'd like to pay tribute to those who perished with her, unfortunately. Scott Gallen, who was 41, Keith Wallace, who was 49, Douglas Kratz, Eric Foreman, Gina Smith, Anthony Dodd, Christopher Maldonado, and the pilot El Maradel were also on that plane. I'd like to go to Fatima. Fatima, you were familiar and friends with pretty much everyone on the plane. Tell us a little bit about the people on the plane.
Well, Eric Foreman, her hairstylist, and Chris Maldonado, her makeup artist. We all just kind of always hung out with Aaliyah, you know. Gina, who worked with the record label, was the sweetest woman alive. I mean, everybody there, like they said, we were just family. Whenever we were together, we were just cracking jokes, and we all had our little sayings that we would do, and we always had so much fun with Aaliyah. Keith Wallace was also on the plane. He's Diane's best friend, and Keith was normally with Aaliyah when we'd be in rehearsals together, and whenever we would travel together. And Keith made the trip because Aaliyah's mom wasn't able to, and it's just really a shame to see all that creative talent go to waste, that just amazing creative energy all gone. But, you know, I was talking to the dancers, and we were all talking about, you know, trying to keep our spirits up, talking about how, you know, Eric Foreman is probably in heaven right now telling God, can he get some new wings? Because this one's a little, you know, a little chip right here. And Chris and all them are watching us all cry like, honey, Miss Thing, they're going to be here soon. Don't worry. Like, you know, we all just sat around, laughed. Like, at least she's with her boys and she's with her crew.
That is the truth. And one thing that keeps coming up in our conversations about Aaliyah and those who knew her is family. She was very, very close to her family. Talk about Aaliyah's bond to the people and how she kept her people kind of close-knit.
You know, I've never seen a mother and daughter relationship like Aaliyah and Diane. Aaliyah and Diane were best friends and inseparable. And Diane is just the sweetest woman in the world, and her daughter was a reflection of very good upbringing and just a sweet person. Aaliyah didn't do anything without checking with her family and checking in with her parents. Aaliyah would come and spend the night at my house, and she would always check in with her mom and let her know where she is. And I would always speak to her mom and give her the itinerary of what we're about to do. And it was just that kind of family, you know. We wanted Aaliyah, it was a beach video, so we were like, Aaliyah, you should wear a bathing suit and shorts and da-da-da. And she says, Fatima, Diane says she doesn't want me wearing any shorts. And that was the end of that. No one even questioned it. If Diane says Aaliyah is to not wear any shorts, or Aaliyah didn't feel comfortable because Diane didn't want her to, that was it. It was no rebelling against the family. They were a unit, and I really respect that bond that they have.
If you could tell us a little bit about about the video that was being shot in the Bahamas during this past weekend, while we see a bit of it.
We were shooting the video for Rock the Boat, her second single off the album, and through hair and makeup to catch the sunrise. But Aaliyah had so much fun. I have pictures of the actual video shoot, and everyone, we had a blast. Me and Aaliyah we sat down on the beach and just talked about life and vacationing and everything, and we just, you know, it was really a great time.
Did she enjoy her time in the spotlight? Did she enjoy her place in the spotlight?
Aaliyah definitely enjoyed her time in the spotlight, but Aaliyah was the kind of artist that, you know, you can walk down the street with her and nobody recognize her. And she didn't go out trying to seek attention at all. She was just a regular person at all times. And if someone happened to recognize her, she'd stop, give an autograph. But she was just sweet at all times.
Angie,
perfect.
Angie, that goes back to what you were talking about her, just her spirit and her waiting her turn. Talk more about that.
Yeah, quite a few times I'd run into her at the Nico or Le Meridian Hotel, and she was consistent. That's the only word I can use to really describe her demeanor. Yeah. She would embrace me with the warmness and let me know that I'm still the same Aaliyah, and how you doing, girl? And, you know, it was just a very warm, pleasant spirit. I can only say the one thing that I used to, you know, want more than anything that I recently saw is more of her eyes, because you only saw one eye all the time. And when I looked at Aaliyah on 106 and the close-ups that they got on her eyes, it was the first time, you know, that I could really see and hear and feel the spirituality on a full spectrum. And she was absolutely glowing and gorgeous, beautiful inside out. And I mean, the times that I ran into her at the studio, she was sweet. I mean, I can't even express without saying how important over a 7-year period of becoming, you know, budding into what she really is a superstar, right?
Right. Kevin, you've worked over about that same 7-year period.
Exactly.
How did you see her grow over the past 7 years?
Angie and I were just talking about that, you know, because being in this industry this long, I remember the 15-year Aaliyah when she came to do when she came to do Video Soul, and how she walked in as an assured but kind of demure young girl, and to have seen her since we've been here in New York. And I remember the first time she walked into BET with the cream outfit on and the hair, and I just really was overwhelmed at how stunning she had become. And she smiled, and it became something that, I mean, again, it was Dorothy Dandridge-esque. It was Halle Berry. You knew she was destined to be, because she already was. The Aaliyah, you know, was not a name picked by accident.
And I pride her parents mostly, because you have to have the love of Christ first to instill that beauty that would transcend all egos and all of the desires to want to be on top, just settling for being comfortable and doing whatever it is that you do best. And I think that she did it above and beyond the call of the word best.
And she made people who were around her feel extremely comfortable as well.
No question.
That was one of the best things she did.
And Barry said that statement earlier about how you just wanted to possess her. You know, Common said in the song once, it doesn't take all day to recognize sunshine. And having spent those 4 days with her, and for somebody who could get up at 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning and be like, all right, camera, turn off for a second. Mother's not here yet. And she would just glow it in the dark of the not yet morning sunrise. I could see that she was beautiful, and you could see and feel the bond as Fatima would rub her back, as Eric and Chris would do her face, how they woke one another up. They were a family in every sense of the word. And if Diane is responsible for instilling that love in that circle, then as Angie said, her family has truly done its job, and I was overwhelmed. It
comes around to how important family was to her, and
absolutely,
and to Diane and Michael, her parents, and Rashad, her brother, our deepest condolences.
Absolutely.
We'll be back with more BET Tonight in just a moment. Producer Timbaland along with Missy. Timbaland was on 106 in Park earlier today in a very tearful tribute to Aaliyah. Welcome back. We are continuing our tribute to Aaliyah. One of my favorite Aaliyah stories is that in 1998, she was tapped to sing the Oscar-nominated song Journey to the Past from the movie Anastasia. Now, people usually call up Gucci or Versace to find their dresses and suits and tuxes for the Oscars. Where did Aaliyah go? Aaliyah went to a mall outside her hometown Detroit and found a dress that was absolutely stunning and absolutely perfect for that night. We're here with Fatima, who's choreographed, who's worked with Aaliyah a number of times, choreographed, and was with her in the Bahamas. Talk about how Aaliyah, as glamorous she was and as provocative as sometimes her image was really just she was a regular old, like she put it, street but sweet.
Regular old.
Street but sweet is the way she described herself.
Definitely. She's, Aaliyah was just really, truly an amazing human being, a great talent, a fabulous friend at all times. And she surrounded herself, you know, around her family and friends. And we were a crew that hung out, and really, I just always enjoyed working with Aaliyah. And as for me as a choreographer, she was just perfect because Aaliyah and I were like synchronized swimming whenever we danced together.
What do you attribute her ability? Because there aren't many there who can sing as well as she did and dance, you know, while doing it at the same time. What do you attribute that to?
That's just natural talent. Aaliyah just has, she just had it. She was a diva in all right. She was a diva without all the, like, yeah. And so I ran to the producer's office. I was like, Aaliyah wants Roscoe's. You know, it was just very that. Like, I had to be that diva for her. Like, well, look, you can get whatever you want. You want Mr. Childs flown in? We'll have Mr. Childs flown in. And she's like, okay.
Fantastic. Sounds like she was a lot of fun and had goals. What do you think her goals were, and what had she not accomplished that she wanted to accomplish?
Aaliyah, I believe, was just going with the natural flow of her life. She was very excited about this album. She felt like it was her best album yet. She always wanted to become a stronger dancer. She was, and she enjoyed all of her movies. I worked on Romeo Must Die with her, and you know, she enjoyed acting. She enjoyed life and loved to live it to the fullest in her own way.
Yeah, let's talk about her album, because this was definitely taking it to the next level for her, musically, lyrically, and in the shape her voice was in. She had some songs that dealt with some really serious topics. She had some songs that deal with serious topics on this latest album, Aaliyah. One having to do with abuse and how she won't take it anymore. Was she very kind of worldly aware, and where do you think that came from?
Aaliyah was very worldly aware of everything, you know, happening around her. I don't know of any personal things that have happened in her life. She didn't share that with me, if that came from the album, the particular song you're talking about. But Aaliyah was just very, very much so aware of everything going around, you know, around her. The producers and the writers that she worked with also were her very good friends, Static and Timberland, and you know, they would get into the studio and build just like we get into a dance studio and, you know, build on the music. They would get in and talk about life, and you know.
It was great to see her go from, you know, she'd been associated with Timberland, and Timberland did work on this last album, but also there seemed to be a lot more Aaliyah as she turned into a woman on this album as well.
Yeah, definitely. When people talk about, you know, it was great seeing her face and her hair, you know, just her face and her, you know, really looking forward to just seeing her blossom into more than a woman. You know, indeed. That's her third single, More Than a Woman, and I just cannot emphasize how fabulous this young woman was.
From all accounts, that is indeed the case. We'll be back with more of BET Tonight right after this. Stay with us.
Tank landed, I think. With fares so low, you have the freedom to go places.
There we were planning our vacation online. That's when the pain started.
Digititis is a repetitive stress injury, just like carpal tunnel syndrome, except different.
Basically, it feels like a fleshy fireball on the end of my hand.
We're seeing an explosion of this with all the double clicking that's going on. If we catch this early, we can help.
With so many travel websites, searching for the lowest airfare can be a pain. Instead, just click on Southwest.com. It's the only place online you can buy our lowest fares.
You are now free to move about the country.
Cool is better than uncool. Smooth is better than unsmooth. Easy is better than complicated. And Speed Pass at Exxon and Mobil is better than ever. Because now you can use it inside the store, too, and bill it to a check card or major credit card you already have. Now that's cool. To be as cool as the millions who use Speed Pass, call 1-877-MY-MOBILE. How do we know? We're drivers, too.
Excuse me? Dude, wake up. Hello? Yoo-hoo!
Just a reminder, Wendy's pickup window's open late, so you can get a classic half-pound double with cheese made fresh.
Forget something?
And eat great, even late.
Meet Shantae.
Ooh, men are so predictable. You tell Miss Things, you know the 411 on the fellas. Well, I don't want to toot my own horn, but beep, beep.
I play a character by the name of Shantae Smith. She's an executive who thinks that she has the game of love programmed.
Now, Keith with his fine self, and he's a professional man. I'm sorry for noticing you.
What I do to get Shantae back is I play the game a little bit with her. You know, I go ahead and play her game. I let her have her way. And, you know, and then when I find out that that doesn't work, I listen to my friend, Tony.
Pretty soon, women are just gonna be pulling these head trips on us. And you know what's gonna happen? We gonna be the ones changing the diapers. They gonna be sitting on our couch, watching football on our Sunday, dog. That's what's gonna happen. We tripping. This is much bigger than you, man.
Bigger than me?
This is way bigger than you. Woo!
Is your love life a struggle? The power of the tarot can help. Call me for your free reading now. He can't call you that easily, can he?
No.
Yeah, you know why?
Why?
Because he's in lockdown.
Yes.
Okay. He's not a lying person, you understand?
Yes.
Deception is something that you have had more than your share of, correct?
You are so right. How did you know that?
Who is that girlfriend of yours that has that purple weave in her hair?
That's my best friend.
How's your back, honey?
Oh, wow. I pulled a muscle recently.
You have heart disease is something that is a straight line through your family. I'm feeling palpitations from you on a regular basis, correct?
Yeah, I'm being tested for stuff right now.
Right before the wedding took place, you accused him of sleeping with somebody.
You got that right.
Call me for your free reading now.
Call 1-800-799-6616.
Welcome back to BET Tonight. I'm Stephen Hill, and this is a tribute and a celebration, really, of the life of Aaliyah, who was tragically killed this weekend in a plane taking off from the Bahamas. And as we close, I'd just like to go around and ask people what they'd like to be, how they'd like Aaliyah to be remembered going forward. Let's start with the person referred to as Aaliyah's big sister, Fatima.
I like Aaliyah to be remembered as a role model for all young women who are out there trying to achieve their goals in life, to stay focused. You don't have to compromise yourself as a woman to do what you want to do, and to always just follow your dreams and be true to yourself and be humble and kind to other people, because it reflects and it's a good thing. Aaliyah was a great person.
Fatima, thank you very much. I know she's like a family member to you, so we appreciate your time at this time. Kevin Taylor, BET producer.
On my way home from Baltimore yesterday, Stephen, I stopped and encountered a 72-year-old Irish man who asked me if I knew the young singer who died. And of course, I had to share with him that I was just with her. And he said he had cried 3 times in his life: when he buried his mother, when they sprinkled his brother's ashes on his mother's grave, and that morning. And he did not know her, had nothing of her music, but he saw her face and knew that the world had lost somebody. And I really just was overwhelmed by that, you know, as I was talking about it, you know, having to spend those few days with her. She was a light. She was such a brilliant beam of light. The one regret that I have is that in one of the underwater scenes that she was doing for the video, Aaliyah, who is a very good swimmer, had to try to breathe underwater and couldn't. And so they were working with the regulator, and she got fearful going under. So my heart hurts because I know what Aaliyah's face looks like with fear. But I'm glad that the world has so many other images of her that shine her light, and that's what we really have to just keep illuminating. You know, there are a couple of more videos that have already been shot, and hopefully those will come forward, and the movies, and that somebody will continue to speak her name.
Fantastic. Kevin Taylor, Angie Stone, thank you very much for joining us as well. Thanks for watching the show tonight. Join us again tomorrow for another edition of BET Tonight. I'm Stephen Hill. Good night.